I help them do this, even if the internet connection isn't perfect and is a bit glitchy. Because life isn't perfect, life has glitches. It's a glitch in the matrix that's happening. So, how do you motivate yourself to take action when you really don't feel like it, when every fiber of your being doesn't want to do it? I'll tell you how I do it and how I teach my clients to do it, and hopefully this will work for you. So right now, I don't feel like doing this live stream. I've been working hard the past week, pushing myself, stretching myself, going the extra mile. Been coaching today, and now it's 9:20. Going to go to bed about 10. So I picked a time when I'm not in the mood to do a live stream to motivate myself to do one, so that you get that feeling of how to overcome the inner resistance, because that's what I'm doing in this stream itself. I ask myself the question, or you can ask yourself the question: do you want to be successful in life? If the answer to this is yes, the follow-up question is, do you want to let these feelings beat you and stop you from achieving success? If the answer is no, then you already know exactly what you have to do. It's different for different people. Maybe you want motivation to go to the gym, lose weight, and get in great shape. Maybe you want motivation to go out there and find a partner. Maybe you want motivation to take action and build confidence speaking to people. Maybe you want motivation to take action on career, or as my client today did, develop a positive habit where you're working on your business consistently. So the guy that I was coaching today, Nesta, who's in a short video on my YouTube channel, he's a business coaching client. So I'm helping him out get started in his business. And one of his challenges is consistency. Starting off with good intentions and good work ethic, then getting disheartened. A few rejections in terms of his business and selling. And then after those few rejections, feeling disheartened, he then stops for a while, takes a break, and then gets back to it. But this off and on relationship, rather than continuous action taking, is what's really holding him back. And I'm helping him to rise above this and build a daily habit. Here's the thing, right? You might choose to make something a habit, and at the start, you might hate it. Say it's exercising, running. You might really, really hate it at the start, not enjoy it whatsoever, have a miserable time doing it. But what you might not realize is that even if you don't enjoy something now, it's possible to learn to enjoy it over time with consistency. So a lot of people, they hate exercising when they start. They don't really enjoy running, but they start to get into it and they start to enjoy it as time goes on. It grows on them over time. So I'm helping Nesta to spend 30 minutes to an hour each weekday working on his business, and a couple of hours on either Saturday or Sunday, so that every week there's tangible progress happening. And we also have a business model and a vision and a strategy as well. So it's not blind action taking. It's based on evidence and based on things which already work. Keeping it simple as well. And I know that he might not enjoy it to begin with. He might find it hard to motivate himself at the start, but over time it gets easier. And the great thing with take action when you don't feel like it is that it gives you such a confidence boost. Because if you can motivate yourself when you're not in the mood whatsoever, this means that you can always motivate yourself to take action. A phrase that my mentor taught to me was that you don't, if you want to be successful, you can't go by your emotions. You can't just do things as and when you feel like it and drop it when you don't feel like it. It's the only way. So the only way to be successful is to choose behavior over emotions. Choose the positive action, the right behavior, and trust that over time, the emotions will catch up. You can change a thought really, really fast. An action takes a bit longer, but it's still pretty fast. Consistently taking action, building a habit and a behavior, this takes a little bit longer than having your feelings and emotions catch up to your new behaviors. This takes even more time. It lags behind. But trust that if your behavior's right, the emotions will catch up. So when you're taking the right action and you're moving forwards, you will feel better, but you might not feel better straight away. You might have a delayed positive response. This is fine. This is normal. This is okay. And this is how it's supposed to be. You can also help yourself by lowering your expectations just to take pressure off. This doesn't mean not being an ambitious person. It just means not overfacing yourself, because this can go against motivation. So if you go out there and say, I want to get a, then that's a lot of pressure to put on yourself, because you might succeed, you might fail. But if you phrase it differently, I'm going to go out there and take this action this week and not think beyond that, then you're not trying to control things you can't control. You're just focused on the right things, and the expectation's different. So with my current client, I'm managing his expectations. So rather than focusing on getting more clients, right now, let's focus on taking more action. And then after that, we can focus on getting more leads. And then clients will naturally happen over time. So managing expectations is really important. And reinterpreting rejection, perceived failure, because this is completely normal, entirely impersonal. And this was holding my client back. Fears of rejection around his particular services. So he does digital marketing, video production, editing and uploading for charities, sports clubs, to bring awareness to their brand. This is what he does, and he works as part of a team, and he's trying to get his business off the ground. So I'm helping him to be motivated to take action and not take rejections personally. If someone doesn't want to work with you, doesn't agree to a program, it doesn't mean that your value as a person goes down. Your value stays exactly the same. Learning to disassociate rejection from personal worth is a great way to be less affected by rejection. And to know that some people just aren't ready. They're not ready to say yes. There's a difference between being rejected on a personal level and someone not being ready to say yes just now. So in my to change his expectations. And hey, Taron, it has been a while since you've been on one of the live streams. It's good to have you on. So I chose the topic of how to motivate yourself to take action when you don't feel like it, because it's quite late at night. I've worked pretty hard today and I wasn't in the mood to do a live stream. So I thought, let's motivate myself to do it anyway. So I was, so before you joined, I was talking about a client that I'm helping called Nestor. And I'm helping Nestor to motivate himself to take action on his business, even when he doesn't feel like it. So consistently taking action, regardless of the mood that you're in. Sometimes you feel good, sometimes you don't. And actually, I've been helping him learn to handle rejection better in his business, and not to take it so personally. Because a problem that a lot of people have is that they're on the right path, making progress in life, and then they get discouraged by rejection, behavior of other people, and it knocks them back. Absolutely. We all have those long days, and everybody is sensitive to rejection. But what can really help is with experience reinterpreting situations and knowing that it probably isn't personal. The person might not know you. They might not know the real you. Maybe it's their problems. That's the reason why they're saying no. There's so many reasons why people can say no. And it's rarely personal. And even if it is personal, it just means that one person doesn't like you or is saying no to you. It doesn't mean that another person might not say yes. But yeah, that was the main challenge of this guy, Nestor. When he's trying to sell his services and he gets a few no's, finds it quite disheartening, and then struggles to find motivation to take more action. And I've had to overcome these same challenges in my life, and I don't think overcoming rejection means being some kind of superhero who doesn't feel affected at all by rejection, because that's a lot of pressure to put on any person. But it does mean viewing it as normal, not making a big deal out of it, moving on from it quickly, not letting it ruin your day, and accepting it as part of life itself. Keep on going and find the successes. Don't let it scar you. Don't dwell on it too much. So it's really about my phone has been behaving weirdly for a few days as well. Keeps kind of disconnecting from the internet and reconnecting. But this is fine. This is part of life. Maybe my phone's rejecting me right now. Who knows? But yeah, so I'm working hard, pushing myself. And I was saying before you got on the stream, a question to ask yourself is, do you want to be life? And if the answer is yes, the second question is, do you want to let your current feelings stop you from succeeding? And that's how I motivate myself to take action and to do a live stream when I'm not in the mood. I'm just going to read this comment out from Taron. My view is I keep getting the same feedback from people again and again. If it's a pattern, it makes me feel there's something wrong with me. And if I'm being rejected, I must be the problem. So of course there's always a level of truth in what people are saying. So if it's a pattern and you're experiencing the same behaviors from other people over and over and over again, it could mean that on some way it's feedback and there might be something you can change to tweak that. Or it could be your perspective. Maybe their behavior can be interpreted in a different way. You might think they're being negative, but they might not be as negative as you think. And the thing is that being rejected doesn't necessarily mean that that you're a problem. It could be that at the worst, it's the actions you're taking or the offer you're making is being rejected rather than you. And in a way, I quite like your mindset there, where you're saying that take responsibility for rejection, and you're basically saying that rejection from others could be your fault, and it could be feedback, and maybe there's something you can change to adjust that. And I think you've hit the nail on the head. In the problem is that when people are being rejected, they don't know if they're doing something wrong or the other person's the problem. So your brain sometimes goes into processing mode where you're thinking and you're trying to figure out why. Am I doing something wrong? Is it the other person? But going over and over in circles and dwelling on it, this never really leads to a solution. So, like you said, you can't do anything about it. And as long as you're a good person, you're being yourself, you're developing confidence, and you're learning from experience. You're always growing. And if, for example, people are often feeling uncomfortable, you're like, okay, maybe I can change something here. But if it's just the odd person from time to time, then could be that they're the problem. And this is why it's important to get out there, meet lots of people, and get lots of different life experiences under your belt. Because otherwise, you don't have the opportunity to learn these things. And that's why it's good that you'll go into coffee socials and meetups, because you can learn from your own experiences. And one of the problems with online content is that you're not getting the actual experience yourself. So it might not be lessons that you need, but if you're out there meeting people and taking action, at least you're getting tailored lessons and feedback from life itself. But it's great to know that every single person shares this fear of rejection. It's something that we all relate to. Even at the last coffee social, someone asked about the fear of rejection and everybody in the room related to it. And 100%. So my view on this, which is similar to yours, is that there's two beliefs. One belief is you're already enough as you are, and one belief is that you're not enough or you're broken in some way. You want to feed the narrative that you're already enough and starve the narrative that you're bad or broken, because no one's bad or broken. You wouldn't be on this planet if you was. You're your DNA has survived millions and millions and millions of years of evolution. So you're here for a reason. Your genetics must be good enough. Otherwise, you wouldn't have made it. You wouldn't be here right now in life. So you're always good enough as you are. And the process is stripping away all the conditioning which tells you that you're not enough. Recognizing what your natural strengths are, being yourself, and developing true self-confidence. You can't become confident in yourself if you're not being yourself. But if someone believes that they're bad, they're broken, there's something inherently wrong with them, the problem is that they find evidence which supports this belief, even though it isn't true. And suddenly the belief takes hold, builds momentum. That is a nice perspective. And what I like about the perspective that you're sharing, Taran, is that it's quite balanced. So you're not being rejected at the core. It's really an action that you're taking, which is being rejected, an offer you're making, a suggestion, an opinion. So it's not you, it's just something you've said or something you've done, an action you've taken. So the worst case scenario is an action you've taken has been shut down or rejected, but you as a core, you've not been harmed, you've not been rejected. But every single person finds rejection challenging, and it's one of the biggest reasons why people struggle to motivate themselves. What if I put all the effort in, take loads of action, and have to face even more rejection? Will I be able to handle it? People have all these doubts, and they often sabotage themselves. But the great thing is, when you can learn to handle rejection better than the average person, you have an advantage because everyone's affected by rejection. So if you can learn to be affected less, then you're actually going to give yourself this secret weapon, which allows you to go further in life because you're willing to go out there, make mistakes, fail your way to success, pick up some rejections, and just keep on moving forwards no matter what. And really, that's it. Moving forwards all the time. And you've said there, unless you do bad things or violate other people on purpose, doesn't make you a bad person. Yeah, absolutely. So miscommunications happen all the time. And there's going to be times where you accidentally offend somebody else and somebody else accidentally offends you. It could be that the person is just in a bad mood. It could be that they just were a bit insensitive, said something without meaning it. It's the action or behavior, but that one action or behavior, it's not as big as a person. You're bigger than one behavior or one action. You can't define a person by just one thing. You can't judge someone based on one action, one behavior, one parameter, because we're so much more than that. We're so much bigger than that. So I think being secure in who you are, knowing that you're a good person, knowing that you're good enough, and also being resilient and being okay with the fact that miscommunications happen. This can prepare you for the fact that rejections are a part of life. It's all about how you deal with it. As long as you don't let it affect you at the core and ruin your day, then you're doing good. But yeah, motivating yourself to take action when you don't feel like it um, is a great skill set. Yeah, I know what you mean. And that's the thing, isn't it? Um, you're talking about accidentally um, crossing someone's boundary. You can't possibly know exactly where people's boundaries are because everyone's different and boundaries are invisible. So you can't go through life walking on eggshells just to not offend people. Um, that would be too extreme and too restrictive. But of course, you can act through your values and be ethical so that in general, you're not going to be offending people. And one of the best skill sets which helps out with this is empathy and listening to other people. Um, I've improved at this over the years myself. But yeah, if you have any more questions, feel free to post them in the chat. Any more comments? I'm going to check what time it is now. Okay, about 22. Um, so what you're saying is sometimes you kind of pat people, touch them in a playful way. Um, and I would say it comes from a good place, and as long as people aren't being offended by this, I think it's okay. But so I don't think the action itself is wrong. But if somebody gets a bit triggered by that or they feel a bit uncomfortable, as long as you can recognize that and then back off with that person, I think you're fine. You're just talking about some banter, having a laugh. I see. So one particular person in the meetups didn't enjoy it, and that's the thing. So you're talking about a situation where you genuinely didn't know that you was crossing this person's boundary, um, and you apologized as well. So I don't think you can do anything more than that. Um, you have to be yourself and not walk on eggshells. And if you accidentally offend somebody else, then you apologize and don't do it again. Then that's completely fine. It would only be wrong if you carried on when someone told you that this is triggering them. Of course. So I think I know who you're talking about from a previous meetup. Yeah, I do think I know who you're talking about, but the thing is, like, if most people are fine with you behaving the way you are, then it's probably okay. And the odd person gets offended from time to time. Some people are more polarizing than others. Some people have different senses of humor, and we're not all supposed to um, get on well all of the time. There's going to be these clashes. There's going to be these times where there's a miscommunication. But as long as people are open and honest about it, you can usually resolve it quite quickly. And I think the key there is to be able to recognize how other people respond. And I would say that if someone's quite jokey, and let's say you're kind of playfully, patting them and they're doing the same back, then it's fine. But if they kind of back off a little bit or they look uncomfortable, then you might think, okay, this person's not cool with this kind of behavior. Fair enough. And I think it might have been him that spoke to you about it because. And here's the thing, I think it depends on the level that you get on that you get on with somebody. It's like if someone's in quite a jokey mood and they're a jokey sort of person, they'll be kind of cool with that sort of stuff. But some people feel a bit nervous, they feel a bit awkward. So I guess it's just judging the person. And it's not easy to always judge situations correctly. You can't expect yourself to be perfect. Um, to expect yourself to go through life without making mistakes would be too much pressure to put on yourself because we all make mistakes. But the great thing is that you're learning from it. You've realized that, okay, this person felt a bit uncomfortable, but other people were fine with it. Fair enough. And maybe in future you'll recognize a bit sooner if and you have this gut intuition whether this person will respond well to my sort of banter or not. So yeah, um, obviously I'm obviously I'm looking forward to the coffee social at the end of the month. Um, so yeah, everyone's different. Everyone's got their own boundaries, and what's normal to one person and comfortable to one person might not be to somebody else. We're all different, and this is just part of life. And it seems like you've changed your profile photo on YouTube. Just one thing that I noticed is I don't recognize it anyway. But yeah, I was saying that I'm looking forward to this month's coffee social. I actually have two different coffee socials this month, both on the last day. Fair play. So today I did my running gym session. Then I came back and I coached a guy called Nestor, and I'm helping him start his business, put on events and stuff like this. Got some food shopping, ate, messaged some people, and then jumped on an Instagram live stream, and then this YouTube one now. So I've been keeping myself busy, and it sounds like you've had a busy day as well, like a long day working. Um, and I'll be similar to you. I'll chill out and watch something in a bit, and yeah. So I've been pushing myself, making sure that I'm always growing, always moving forward. So I challenged myself this week to go the extra mile. No, that is interesting. Um, it's hard for me to kind of to see the details because it's so small on my screen, um, but I believe you. Yeah. No, interesting. And in that case, I would say, Taron, that you get on very well with Liam. Liam's into Star Wars as well, and Empire Strikes Back is his favorite film. So maybe you guys would have a good chat about that. And as well, Taron, if you did want to go for brunch, we've mentioned this sometime later on in September. Feel free to let me know. Happy to do that and have a catch up, have a chat, eat somewhere different. Yeah, I'm sure it would be would be good fun. So yeah, I'm pretty much gonna clock off for the day in a little bit, have some food, chill out. And fair enough. I'll read this. So actually, so he is called Nesta, but it's spelled like Nesta, and he is on my YouTube channel. Just some short videos with him in the past. You might have met him at a meetup. He's been to a few different meetups, so it's certainly possible. Yeah. So what this guy does is he produces videos, edits them, and puts them on social media for his clients. And his clients tend to be charities and sports clubs as well. He's trying to grow this. So I'm coaching him once a month to help him out with the areas where I've got good experience, like running events, getting new clients on board. And yep, 100% Taron. I'm sure the brunch will happen at some point. Sometimes the business of life can mean that plans can get made, but it could take a while for them to actually happen. Well, what I will say then is you have a good taste in films. Obviously, Godfather's a classic, and yeah. So on that note, I've enjoyed this live stream, and I'm going to keep on doing them more and more frequently. To put stuff out there, chat to more people, have new experiences, be good fun. So yeah. So I'll message you, Taron, and touch base. I'll put a link to my calendar. If you want to go for brunch sometime this month. And yeah, I'm going to clock off for the rest of the day. Chill out for a little bit. In London tomorrow, I'm coaching Thursday, coaching Saturday, and a few other days of business stuff. So keep myself busy and focused, and always motivating myself to take action. I feel like it most of the time, but sometimes I don't, but I still do it. So enjoy the rest of your evening and enjoy your film. Well, I like the film. I will say that I like the film choice. I don't think it's my favorite Star Wars film, but Revenge of the Sith was a quality film. But anyway, that's enough of me waffling. 40 minutes is a long time to be talking at this time at night. So enjoy the rest of your evening, and Taron, look to catching up over brunch, and also I'm sure you'll be at the coffee social end of the month, networking, meeting people. So it'd be good to see you there as well. All right, bye.